If you're looking to create passive income through franchise ownership, then this one's for you. Can you generate truly passive income with a franchise? If I say yes, will you watch till the end of this video? Before I get into the topic of passive income, I want to ask you to please like and subscribe to my channel. I am putting out so much content. I don't want you to miss any of it. So please ring that notification bell so you can get notified of every new video, and like and subscribe. So you're asking the Daily Coach if you can make truly passive income in a franchise. So the Daily Coach is going to ask you, what do you mean by truly passive? If you're asking me if you can just plop your money down into a franchise and never have to do anything, then the answer to that definition is absolutely no. A business is a dynamic, living, breathing entity. It needs a leader. It's different than an investment in real estate or cryptocurrency or the stock market. Most truly wealthy investors that I work with have a diversified portfolio where they have some money invested in crypto, real estate, the stock market, and then they turn to business ownership and franchising for different advantages. A franchise is different than an entrepreneurial business and potentially more advantageous when one is asking the question about building passive income, because a franchise comes with the proven systems and tools. So you're not out creating all of that as an entrepreneur. You're investing your money and getting instant access to that ready-made toolbox, which would allow you to work on your business rather than in your business from day one. And that can reduce a lot of time, especially in the startup phase of the business. So what happens after the first year? Well, if you are a semi-absentee investor, then you will have a manager that will be working in your business while you, as the owner and CEO, will be working on the business. Typically, that definition means that you're putting in somewhere between 10 to 20 hours a week. The variance in the hours will depend on you and your leadership skills and your ability to leave it alone. Some people who own a business, they simply can't get out of it. They feel the need to micromanage it, and therefore they can't really ever experience the value of that semi-absentee business. If you want to be a passive owner, you're definitely going to need to, number one, invest in the right franchise business that allows you to be semi-absent, building scale over time, adding managers over time, and then little by little taking yourself out of the day-to-day operation of the business because you can manage it through your team of people. After that, though, you will need to hire a manager that you can really rely on. As I said in the beginning, a business is a living, breathing entity. It needs a leader. If you're not going to be there to guide the day-to-day operations, the business needs to rely on somebody. And that could be a manager that you hire. If you have a great manager, can you entrust the day-to-day operation to that person so that you don't have to be there? You definitely can. The question I have for you is, do you have the leadership skills such that when you're not there, you feel comfortable that your manager can build your future for you? Wait, build your future for you? If you're a W-2 employee who's now a franchise owner, you left your corporate job because somebody else was in control of your future, and now you're a franchise owner asking me if you can leave your future in somebody else's hands? Does that seem a little crazy? Of course, I'm just playing with you. Of course you can. But there are always potential consequences to those actions. And the last thing I would say is you need a vision for this type of an operation. If you're an investor coming to me asking questions about how to build passive income in your franchise business, the first thing we're going to do is start with your vision. I need to understand, how big are you dreaming? What size scale do we need to build a business to in order for this business to make the kind of money that you want to make? And then I will set about to find the franchise businesses that allow for semi-absentee ownership, toss it back to you so that you can do your research to figure out among the options which one feels like the best option for you. But then ultimately, the time commitment that you put into the business will be determined by you and your leadership and management skill. The question is, what will happen to the business? Since a business is a dynamic thing, it's not going to stay the same. If your attention is diverted from the leadership of that organization, will that business continue to grow? It will if you have a great manager that is incentivized to carry out your vision for you. If you don't have a great manager, I'm not really sure that you're going to be living the dream as a business owner for too long if there is no leader in the day-to-day operation of your business. I know this is probably not what you want to hear. I know you want the daily coach to say, yes, you can put your money in, put no time in, and make millions of dollars. But trust me, if there was an opportunity that was like that, that franchise would be America's next big American brand, but only for about a split second. Because if the owners of those businesses are not out there building that brand, the brand will not be built by itself. A business needs a leader. The time commitment that the business needs will vary based on where in the life cycle the business is, your goals for growth, and then your leadership skills. But I do really want to inspire those investors out there who have the dream to put their money into the physical asset of a franchise business. So don't let me dishearten you. Let's paint the picture a little bit about how we can do this. You come to me with a vision for how much passive income you want to create. I set about to find the right semi-absentee businesses that will afford the scale that I think you're going to need in order to build the passive income that you're trying to reach. And of course, I'm only going to bring back the businesses where the franchisors would allow you to be a semi-absentee owner. And then on top of that, you and I are going to talk about your leadership skills and how you plan to incentivize your manager so that little by little you can take yourself out of the day-to-day operation. So now you say yes to this semi-absentee business, and you are now the CEO working on the business rather than in the business, focused on the leadership and the management of your managers, focused on the marketing and customer acquisition to make sure that your business can keep growing financially, and then focused on the strategy of how to build out the multiple locations. Let's say that you need 2 locations of your business to be going great in order for you to leave your corporate job. You could start out by building those 2 locations at the same time if you have the financing capability to do that, or you could go 1 per year. Let's say that after 2 years, you have 2 locations up and going. These 2 locations are the equivalent of your corporate salary. Now you get to pink slip your corporate salary. But when you leave that corporate job, you now have a business that runs without you. You're not going to leave the job to then go work in the business. You're going to leave the job and you're going to have options. You can enjoy a semi-retired life. You can take this business and grow it to the next level by scaling it to more and more units. Or you can come back to the Daily Coach and we can find you your next diversification in your portfolio. The idea is that you now have options. Most of the time, when I really get to the heart of what people mean when they're asking me about building passive income, it's this idea of having control over their time and their quality of life. Franchising definitely affords you that opportunity, absolutely more so than entrepreneurship does, especially in the first few years of ramping up a business. So, the answer to, can you build truly passive income in a franchise? The answer is yes. You can. If you invest in the right business and you give it the right amount of time and you have the right people in place and you have the right leadership skills and you have the vision from the beginning to be able to create all of this. But is a business ever truly passive for an owner? The answer to that really has to be no, or else I'd be lying to you. Even in a simple business like a laundromat franchise, owners are still putting in probably at least 5 hours a week. Maybe they're coming in only to collect their coins and go to the bank, but they're still coming in. So to summarize everything I've just said, if you're looking for a truly passive business investment, franchising wins over entrepreneurship for sure. But a franchise, even in its simplest form, like the laundromat example, really still is not truly passive as compared to cryptocurrency investment or an investment in the stock market. Even the simplest of franchise businesses need an owner to be present for a few hours a week. To find the right business that matches your definition of passive income, I would love to be your daily coach. Please leave a comment below or follow the link on the screen. Someone from my team will reach out to you so we can schedule an introductory call.